All right, yo guys, welcome back to another podcast. I'm with Hanoi again, and I think we are going to be talking about difficulty, though we may just trail off and talk about whatever. So we will see, but that's the plan.
Yeah, hi guys. I think we will start with the difficulty and we will just see. It will probably delve into something else like it usually does.
Yeah.
Well, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey or something like that.
Very true, very true. Yeah, so basically, because I've been doing the trying to make a new mod for the difficulty, obviously been thinking
Yeah.
about that a lot. And I mean, we have some different opinions, but we also have some similar opinions in terms of where deity is kind of quite weird and potentially could be better, and some ways to fix it, perhaps.
Yeah, and too easy most of all. Most importantly, I think.
Yeah, that is one of the problems. Like, it's easy while still being feeling quite unfair, which is not a great balance. Like, you often look at AIs and think, what the fuck is going on there? Like, they're
Yeah.
like 10 techs ahead of you, but at the same time, you still win the game quite easily in the end. So it's just weird.
Yeah, the thing is, the in a current patch and from the introduction of the APCs, it's like it is always the game on deity is about the threshold that you have to just attain, whether it would be for authority, like maybe one conquered civ and one vassal and some
Right.
finished policy tree, and you get start rolling again on fair terms with the other AIs, and
Right.
from that point on you just easily win.
Yeah.
But before that you have to think that they will have a much higher production, much higher policies acquisition, much faster attacking, and so on. But
Yeah.
it's it's one dimensional, and um, from the point that you will attain some strength and you will build up, conquer someone, get some key wonders or something like this around Renaissance or industrial even. It
Yeah.
just gets very easy. So yeah, the thing is we kind of in your mod uh, tries to kind of uh, make it better, make it more consistent.
Yeah. And my general idea is that I feel like cost reduction makes more sense for doing this because it's the same throughout the game. So, if they're 20% faster at the beginning, then they'll also be 20% faster at the end. Whereas trying to give them instant bonuses, it always seems like there's always going to be some point in the game where it's not quite even. And it always seems to be the late game. Like, ever since Civ has ever existed, it's always kind of the same, where the late game is always easy if you're level, but the early game is always impossible to actually stay level. And I it doesn't have to be like that, in my opinion. Surely, you could have it the other way around. It's a possible way of doing things. Or ideally, you have it so that all points of the game are equally difficult.
Yeah, so this is something that we talked about on the forums when a few versions ago the AIs were kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But at the same time, diplomacy was so ridiculous that you can be a tradition snowballer who is beating another tradition snowballer and another warmonger just next to you. With crossbowmen and spearmen in information era, but they just won't declare on you.
Yeah.
But they will have 20 wonders. With one AI can have 20 wonders and still lose to you. So
Yeah.
it's just yeah. The thing is, in my opinion, to get it more consistent, and I was also toying with the idea of if you are playing very well and you are getting into good position and powerful, the difficulty should throw very high gold and production and culture and science to the AIs, so that it can be stopped. But it was never popular on the forums. Like, they would always ask why, like, you should reward the player for the good play and not like punish him and so on. But of course, it's like contributes to the fact that after you gain some track, you just keep on going, and that is not good because that is somewhat good in a mid game, but in the late game it creates a state that you know you are going to win. You know there is no one who can stop you, but there is no point. So there's no point in playing, because you would have to just move your troops around, and it's very cumbersome.
In
a late game, so especially warmongering.
And like the only kind of even games are ones where you're behind for the entire game and you pip them right at the end, which is like very, very rare.
So this one, and of course another thing is smoothing out the early game, so you will not be able to cheat by like completely screwing the game by hijacking the first settler. Because this is one thing that I don't do in my games, to be honest. I sometimes regret it because they will just grow strong with second and third cities. But it's just the usual way to go with authority. But it's like a trade-off, because you get much better cities and you get much higher yields from authority, from hero worship if you get it, for better cities and more cities to take.
True.
And stronger vassal if you are going to vassalize the first player you conquer. So it's a little of a trade-off, but the thing would be this, and the second thing would be this eliminating this weird like great leap forward that AIs are getting in a classical era and until the Renaissance. That they are taking beyond their own ability to produce any buildings or wonders.
Yes. I mean, there's just a lot of weird stuff, and like it's all stuff that if you're going to play on deity, you have to like learn about. It's like a separate thing you have to learn. Like, okay, this is how to play Civ, and this is what the AIs are going to do, and how you have to like play around it. Obviously, killing a settler is a good idea generally for anyone, but it shouldn't be like complete night and day. Like you've just completely destroyed their whole civilization by doing one thing.
It's like if you are going to play like Adolf Hitler simulation, it's always a good idea to kill the settler. Right? If you are kind of have some dignity, maybe it's not the best idea to kill innocent civilians even before you are like encountering their military, because like I don't know, but sometimes they go unescorted still. It should be corrected.
Hopefully there's been some improvements there. I have noticed that AI combat stuff has felt better though. Like last patch felt like, obviously they're still not as good as a human, but they're slightly less silly, which is always nice.
To be honest, there are a lot of this talk about on the forums, but I've seen AI. Maybe it's just my bad luck. It may be like the kind of bias against the information, because I had just bad luck, but they just make really weird decisions. They are still retreating. They should not be retreating. They are still not placing citadels very good. Like, I can send you just one thing that will showcase this. So this is the game. This is my Rome game. I played on all the difficulty. So the called ABC bonuses.
Yeah.
And the AI would be can easily, maybe not easily, but can reliably like you can open it in a full window, open original, yeah, because
Yes.
yeah. So Washington could block my march to Washington because
Right.
I mostly have one unit and then artillery, so not really combat good to inflict damage on units.
Yeah.
Though I have mostly field and logistics on them, but he has so many good units. They are one era behind, but still they are good, really good soldiers. They have got riflemen, I have infantry and tanks, but
Yeah.
they would still stop me, and they just completely retreated, so I would able to get the Washington easily.
Well, did you like Great General the whole way in there or something?
Not the whole way, but well, fair amount of territory was Great General. But this is not only mine citadels. There's also half my, half him.
Yeah. That's quite a lot
Yeah,
there. That's quite funny.
this is how usually authority players border looks like.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I had the most annoying game against Portugal once because they have that Great General points for trade routes thing. They would just spend
Yeah.
the entire game Great Generaling me. Like, I was just trying to play peacefully with them. We weren't even enemies. They just took everything I had.
I cannot like. It is very good that they will not get autocracy and Lebensraum because
Oh my.
I think I the last citadel I put just before Washington, it was with Lebensraum. So
Yeah.
I waited with that one, and I had a absolutely ridiculous amount of great generals because one point is Rome is getting for regional points for kills in all the cities, I think.
Yeah.
On the unit building, and I had
Oh,
hero worship.
Jesus.
And of course, usual authority.
Yeah, you buy them
Fealty,
as well.
yeah, imperialism and autocracy. No, I think imperialism also gets you quicker great generals.
Do you know what I've been thinking recently? Is that quite a few occasions it's actually better to go progress second rather than fealty.
Yeah, I did that in my Russia game, but it was mostly because I wanted to, because no one went progress, so I felt like safe. And
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted more development because Russia has a lot of science, and fealty is not, well, it is amazing on many authority games, but yeah, progress can be competitive. Yeah, so I definitely maybe not totally agree, but like I understand the idea. So go on about why have you?
Yeah, I mean, I realized after the Netherlands game that I feel like I should have gone progress there. Um, I went in this one, which is like a Persia one. Like, it's not like night and day. It's just like I feel like the automatic is just like fealty, but how much does it actually give you? So you get the minus 25 faith cost. That is nice, but it only counts for buildings. So once you've got all the buildings, it's not going to apply to like the zealotry or stuff like that. It's only for buildings and missionaries that usually you can afford anyway if you've got orders and stuff. This is nice, but not spectacular, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, you many times you will like your tax because you will prioritize chivalry or steel. You will have to get these armories to get your supply up faster.
Yeah.
Is even going to be taken by you. So yeah, I understand that. It's like nice.
Man,
But...
it's making noise, man.
Oh, sorry. I was like playing with a paperclip.
Yeah, it's really loud, dude. I don't know
I
how a
don't know because
paperclip can be
it's
like
like
that.
metal that is touching the plastic from the notebook.
Right. Yeah, carry
I
on.
will try to restrain myself.
That would be good. Yeah. So the policy, it does come like a little bit late. It's always like slightly late. I feel like okay, like you can kind of wait for it, I suppose, but normally you do want to get at least one armory or castle before you get it. So it's a little bit sad. And then I guess you get like 4 gold and 1 happiness in each city, which is all right. This one is really good. 2 production from pastures, and then some culture for each non-specialist city. So you probably get about 2 culture per city. Better internal trade routes. This one is decent, but then this doesn't really do much, and this doesn't really
I
do
think
much.
burgers is much better than decent, to be honest. Yeah,
Burgers.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like plus 15 production, so you get the same bonus as with progress, but much not only 50% better, but towards all things.
No, but
Uh,
how? Oh, okay, yeah. It's not just buildings, but how often are you actually We Love the King Daying? Like, because it's
I
not
think quite
100%.
often, to be honest. If you are like, I sometimes work merchants, so it's easier. I usually do one merchant city. I
Okay.
don't have this. Also, you can you, when you kill city states, when you kill when you grab some cities, and just from normal trading, you can get a fair amount of it. I have a Also, you get a lot from circuses mid game. You can get from churches. So I think I am more, or maybe 50% in Will of the King Day of all time after taking this policy. So
Yeah,
and it
I would say that.
also doubles the border growth, which means really a lot for authority.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I actually always forget about that one. Yeah,
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 this is
completely right there.
absolutely.
With the old tribute policy.
Yes, and the tribute policy. In one of our last chats, um, you said that the tribute policy only scales with era for the culture from tribute demanded from city state, and it is not. It is really from gold and production.
No,
It gives you
I thought that
40.
too. Alright.
Yeah, because I think we you told me that gold and production, not, and I was like, well, then this policy is shit. But
Y-
yeah, it really is, and I think it's obvious when you play it. It's really a lot of golden production.
Yeah, no, I think what I was saying is that it doesn't double with the finisher. I don't think.
Oh yes, maybe it was something like this. So yeah, you said that it is not as amazing as I thought. So it is yield from tribute policy double.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm pretty
it's
sure it
maybe
doesn't.
double. Yeah, but like for I was just equating them because if yields from tribute are double, uh, I was not mentioning the scaling with era. That was basically,
Dude, it's
you
still
know,
doing noises, man. It's like.
right. So I will let me just take it away, and I will put it so far away I would never touch it again during this video. Yeah. So now it will be better
Okay.
to know that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So distribute like I equated this doubling with a scaling with era because in medieval it would be pretty much the same.
Right.
It is really doubling with each era with the scaling.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of similar.
It's still enough to make it good. Like, it would be too good if it doubled again.
Yes,
Probably.
yes, yeah, yeah. But to be honest, before I was always finishing authority with that in mind, that it will make my tribal policy so good that the border grow acquisition. Right now, I am just thinking that finishing authority is just good for finishing authority, not for getting this one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Because
yeah, okay. It is better than I
have
thought.
another situation with Filthy. We have finisher is in fact the best out of two last policies.
True. True. The finisher is very good. I mean, that's usually going to be basically plus yields in all of your cities, especially because when you have this, then you'll want to make sure they're all that religion.
Yeah. Though Filthy is not. I think it is even better. The opener, especially, is even better when you don't have a religion and you are intending to just conquer a religion after getting it,
Right.
because you have spare faith
Yes.
to invest in all the monasteries. And when you are getting your own religion, like sometimes when I go hero worship and orders, I don't even spread. I just build orders in my capital and just make other cities go for another religion. Don't even spread because I'm waiting for this faith from killing cities.
Yeah.
Because I would be not competitive with just Pantheon to generate my faith, because Order is giving you +3 faith in only one city until
Yeah.
medieval, I
Yeah.
think. Oh, no, it is not until medieval. It is not scaling with era. It's scaling with the number of orders, I think. Or maybe it is scaling with era.
It does
I don't
scale with
remember.
era. I
Yeah, it is.
think.
I think it's +6 in medieval and +9 in Renaissance, something like this. In general, it is kind of OP to go hero worship and orders, but
Yeah, the hero worship gives a lot. Actually, I did not realize that until more recently. Just how much it gives. Like,
yeah, it can easily give you, if you conquer a tradition capital around after getting your religion in, for example, early medieval, it gives you straight enhancer.
yeah, exactly. Which is crazy good. Where are we? Hero worship.
Yeah, and of course the great generals and great admiral and golden ages.
Yeah.
So if you are from some point on, you are in perma golden age.
Bro, I didn't even get it in this game as Persia, man. So annoying. Flipping Spain nicked
But
it.
I think Holy Council is easily competitive with that. It can get you nice wonders like Angkor Wat and others.
Yeah, I think it did help me get it actually.
And of course, science is the authority weakness. So
True. I feel like science is a much bigger deal now than it was last patch as well, with the tech changes. Like, they are really quite significant tech cost increases.
yeah, and I like that, to be honest.
Yeah, because I feel like before I was always picking culture over science, whereas now I'm like, no, I actually like need science, otherwise I'm gonna fall behind. Like, and it will take ages to actually even get the text.
Yes, I am now getting writing before steel when I'm warmongering, even with Japan. Even the Japan dojo has
Yeah,
+4 science on steel, so
yeah, it would just take too
I'm
long to
still
get there.
yeah. So I'm still getting like council and library before, and usually I also want science from my pantheon, but of course culture has a much higher priority for the pantheon and the faith.
Yeah, yeah,
But if I am not going for religion, I would 100% go for culture, then science, then gold on my pantheon.
really gold.
Yeah, for authority, 100%.
Well,
Gold
no,
is this is one of the problems I have with God of the Open Sky. because this is just so fucking OP. Not only, like, culture is very good. Culture is really strong. Faith is not that abundant on this one, so it is kind of all right. It is not OP from the faith and culture alone, but the
Right.
gold on the pastures can give you like 40 or 50 gold on turn 60 or 70 or 80 on top on that faith
Yeah.
and culture. So because it's plus 3 gold for each pasture,
Yeah.
it could easily be 30, 40 gold.
It probably is the best pantheon, or almost certainly. Like as long as you can get a religion with it.
Yeah, I think it's OP, to be honest. I think it should be toned down.
Yeah, true. Because it's like it is quite possible to get a religion, like as long as you have reasonable land, go
Yeah, I think
authority, so you can get another settler.
yeah, it is completely possible to get a religion, and I think I was getting a religion as a first or second many times with this pantheon.
Yeah. Well, religion is too easy now as well. That's another
Um,
issue.
yeah, but if we will be talking about the difficulty changes, I made some changes to your mod, and now religion kind of it is still not unreasonable again, like it was some patches ago, but it is much harder,
Yeah.
like really much harder.
Yeah, well, it already because I added it. I added religion into the growth percent thing. So because
Yeah,
I made everything cost 80% for AIs on deity, so science policies, but I also made their religion cost that, and that made it like pretty much around where a human would get it if they were like trying to get it quickly. But then the more production they have, the earlier they get it as well. That's kind of the other thing.
yeah, and I enabled a bonus again, so the shrines and the pantheons are much faster for the AI.
Yeah,
Even with Stonehenge, I sometimes don't get a first pantheon. And even with Stonehenge, I sometimes don't get to found a religion at all. It happened in one of my games. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, like what I don't know how hard it's best for the religion race to be. Like, I feel like it should be gettable, but you should have to build shrines first to get it. Like, with most pantheons, it shouldn't be just gettable with any pantheon doing whatever you want, which it kind of is right now.
yes. But I think if you can get Stonehenge for a good pantheon, uh, you should be able to go without shrines first, but maybe shrines second. But to be honest, in my last game, yeah, I was doing shrines second because I was having a one production and one save on the monument already, so I was going monument first, then shrines, then wells.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I would agree that maybe not shrines second, not shrines first in every second, like in every city, because it would wreck your overdevelopment.
Yeah.
And we also want, uh, like, we want the difficulty so high you will not be able in position to go for shrine first because it completely screws your cities in many times.
Yeah.
Especially with authority, you want that monument as fast as you can get it.
Yeah. 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 So this was, I guess, a bit of a problem with. So my mod made, like I said, the 80%, and then I increased the production cost discount that the AIs had, but it still wasn't quite enough in the early game to make it like feel competitive. And obviously, if you give a human player too much like to play with in the early game, a good player, then they're going to be in too good of a position. So that's kind of a slight thing where the instant yield bonuses are quite good for making sure all the AIs are doing decently at the start.
Yeah, so do you want to like right now to explain how your mod works so we can uh, because I if you do that I can go with how what changes I made to your mod to make it more competitive and so on.
Okay, well, yeah, I've explained it slightly, but the basic principle, like I said, is that cost reductions are much smoother and they scale better throughout the game, and it
Yeah, so
feels
maybe we'll start with how normal difficulty works. So
right.
that people like can feel the difference. So the normal difficulty is, uh, I think they get 80% for all production buildings and units in the cities. So
It's 70, I believe.
all
Trying to
70. We are talking on deity. So
yes,
yeah, so like the AI is paying 30% less for every unit and
yes.
every building.
So it's these
And
two lines, train percent 70 and construct percent 70. That means 70% cost for unit, 70% cost for buildings at the start for AIs.
yeah, the unit cost is higher and a little higher on below the AI growth percent. But yeah, and they also get a work rate modifier, which makes the workers faster by the same amount.
Yeah.
Mm, what else? It is also a unit upgrade are slightly cheaper, but the base thing is they get nearly all of their power from ABC bonuses. So this means they get like uh, when they settle cities and they build a world wonder, when they I think win a war or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, what else are the triggers?
There's the era one. They get a triple.
Oh yeah, of course the era. So they when they enter new era like Renaissance, Industrial, and so on,
Yes.
they also get these bonuses. So it basically means you get this difficulty bonus base. It is 14. It is multiplied by this ABC, and the A is always the same value throughout the game. So it's 375 production gold, golden age points, science, culture. Um,
Yeah.
I missed something like that
Yeah.
along those lines. They don't get faith from any of this.
Yeah, that is
Uh,
true.
the B, if I remember correctly, is doubled,
It's multiplied by the era, and then
multiplied by the C squared.
C is multiplied by the era squared. So it's it's a bit mathsy, but basically these just control like the amount of the bonuses at the start and how they scale throughout the game is affected by these three numbers here.
Yeah, exactly. So any changes like changes for the any of them would be massive on a early game
Right.
because they will get like all of them, but just the same amounts that you have here, just multiplied by each other on settling the first city and the first few. But on the late game, they get C will just go into some thousands.
Yeah, like by late game, C does most of it, whereas at the beginning, it's basically equal between the three of them. It just depends the way it scales. But like you said, the triggers are done. It's like certain triggers that mean they get the bonuses. And in the early game, the relevant ones are really the settling cities and then the era bonus that they'll get when they get into classical.
Yeah, that also means that AIs are mostly at all times in golden age because um, it gives golden age also
Yeah.
with gold production and culture and science.
Well, so there's yeah, so you get all the yields from those things, the settling cities and the era bonuses, which is what you generally notice where they'll go up in techs all of a sudden, is when they settle a city, they'll basically get like a free tech. And then when they get into classical, they get a triple bonus and they'll get basically 3 free techs for going into classical. So
Yes,
it's quite crazy.
yeah, because like unlike any other scaling with era, I don't know any others in the game. The bonus from the B and from C in the ABC's bonuses is scaling in a classical era already by I think double from the ancient era, because normal
No,
bonus scaling with era are starting in medieval.
no, I don't think it does. It does. It's the same in ancient and classical. It's just that they don't really get that many bonuses in ancient because
Really?
it will only be if they settle a city that they'll get a bonus, and most of their set and like so they'll usually already be classical. It starts scaling with medieval, I'm pretty sure.
I think I read about it on AI and difficulty, which Recursive has updated some time ago. Well, like I mean, recently, not like a very old time ago.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, maybe whatever it is kind of irrelevant. The bonuses are the main thing that is like governing the difficulty. So whenever you
Yeah.
kill a settler, whenever you like deny AI a city, whenever you deny them world wonder, um, by getting it yourself,
Yeah.
uh, it weakens the AI substantially.
Yeah. Like not only have you done the killing of the settler, which is would be really annoying if it happened to anyone, but you've then also prevented them from getting the bonus. And then that will
Yeah,
mean they won't get the
like
next bonus, so it like goes like that.
yeah. So I have this thing on AI and difficulty Vox Populi wiki, and it says that while most per era scaling in Vox Populi counts as the ancient and classical era as one era, the AI per era modifier does not, and it
Yeah.
is discounted as starting the classical era. But I don't exactly know how this
So
works. So,
that's this one. This is a -10 modifier, which
I remember. Yeah,
that
yeah,
applies basically on top of these. So it's the production cost of units and buildings that decreases throughout the game. So this is another way in which it becomes very weird because they get all these bonuses to science and stuff at the start, and they have quite high, like, technically they still have quite high production costs for the AIs because they have no idea what to build, man. They build everything and like before they actually build the right stuff. So they usually end up, even though they're up here in late classical, they have so much they still haven't built, like that they won't even bother building wonders and stuff because they don't have enough production to do it.
yeah. So, yeah, the thing is, we are, well, like we are arguing we were arguing a lot of time on the forums with different guys because some guys don't like that to increase the difficulty of the deity because most of deity players I think agree that difficulty should be increased,
Right.
but we kind of don't agree with this approach, and I think this approach is the most promising thing we now have. So like the testing and playing out the mod from you is
Right.
the best way to like ensure that the difficulty will go up, because I don't think Gazebo will greenlight any difficulty changes in a new version.
Yeah.
There is no like demand from that on a forum. So
True.
yeah, so I think we have to just do it ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, definitely it does feel more like smooth and stuff when we've been using this. And the only real issue that we have is just trying to make sure that the early game is still competitive without being too ridiculous. And the best way to do that. But I think what I have found is that when you give the AIs money, it does actually work quite well. And it works much better than giving them production, in my opinion, because then you remove the issues of like there's some issues later on, like when you're trying to do world's fairs and stuff like that. The AIs can sometimes get a production bonus trigger on the same turn, and they'll win it when they shouldn't have really won it. Whereas with money, that kind of stops them from having things like that happen.
Yeah, so this is the part, because the part before was when we agree. This is the part when we don't agree. I mean, we agree like in a principle, but we just need to like sort out the details. So
yeah,
the thing is, played some games on a few versions of your mod, and they were just too easy, and especially in the early game. And we all know how the Civ 5 is working in general, and in VP it is to a lesser extent, but the same principle applies. The like early game advantages, early game snowballing is like several orders of magnitude better than mid or late game snowballing or advantages. So they were situations that I was snowballing into having a twice much score as the other AIs, and they were still like on 3 cities when I have 6, and they didn't even have gold, and they didn't even have enough luxuries for me to import. So I had 100 gold, they have 0, and I even wouldn't be able to give them gold because they have nothing to, no luxuries, no strategics to give me. And yeah, so what I did is I introduced some values from the old ABCs to get the AI started, because it is not always like that. Like the values from your mod makes the AI possible to, and it is the intention to get them more hard in the early game, and they are with like all the other variables like playing in their hands. They can go really amazing and they can be really strong.
Yeah.
But it is just so inconsistent that 90% of the time they will just struggle to finish their fourth city. So in the first, before you introduce the gold.
Yeah, this is with just like only cost decreases, like with no.
Yeah, an elimination of ABCs.
Yes.
Yeah, it smooths out the game to the point it feels like king difficulty. So the thing I did was just apply, because we were also talking about like reducing a little the AI growth percent and getting them per era modifier. But in the end, I didn't apply that because we were talking like 85% and maybe 5% for per era. But I don't like that. I need, like, I want them to have this full 80%.
Okay.
And I didn't touch the production one, so it is all 50, not 60%.
Okay.
On my copy. And on top of that, I gave them, so I have like a full Yo game plus full A. I mean 14 base as in the normal deity and 375A.
Okay.
And initially, I also gave them 80B and 60C.
Okay.
And what happened, I will send it to you now, was...
Easy win for you?
Yeah, something like this. Very easy. In fact, I don't have to bother with the game after I reached medieval. I just need to go to like click escape and click retire, because it's just so easy.
Yeah.
This is, for example, Indonesia, which is kind of good Civ in AI hands. I don't know why, but I guess it is better done in human.
Yeah, it can be. Okay.
This is Indonesia when I was on four cities, and didn't have a real military to invade my neighbor with
Right.
all four weapons.
Yeah. Turn 134. Fair enough.
Yeah, they have already free statecraft, which is absolutely very high. They have a kind of good income, but it's not amazing. I think it could be like if they were Morocco, they would have like 300 already.
Yeah.
And the other things, they are just good. They have 8 cities. Some of the cities are already like 70, 30, 12, 20. So they just have the power right now.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you compare it with my score, which was like, I don't know, 400, 300, something like that,
Okay.
uh, it's getting too ridiculous, too fast. I will just get you another one.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised because if you're going to give them science and culture base as well on top of having a cost reduction, then it's going to obviously help them go pretty crazy. Though their techs aren't
Yeah,
even that high, but I guess they are.
yeah, Vatex weren't that high because I don't know, to be honest. Progress should have some more, but I guess they would. This would be like the period when they real strength really kicks in.
Probably, yeah.
But I need to find another.
Hagia Sophia and Barbada. Classic.
Yeah, I go crazy sometimes. Oh yeah, here's the song High. Yeah, so yeah, but the one thing they weren't so good at was getting wonders. But I don't think even if you will get 1,000 production in each city for every era, it will still not convince them to build more wonders.
Well, no, it might. It's just because um, when you're adding normal ABC bonuses, uh, a lot of it, like the more significant portion of it, is science and culture. Because at the start, like they get the same of each yield, but then the production gets split up to all cities. So if you imagine getting 100 science, that's like a free tech, but 100 production across 5 cities is like half a building, isn't it? So they could easily
Yeah,
still be behind on buildings.
science and culture are gained in full from the ABC bonuses.
Yeah,
But I think production is divided by the number of your cities
yeah,
still. So it is not that amazing for AIs.
yeah,
Of course, gold is because AI buys a lot of things and invests a lot of buildings.
yeah.
Gold is kind of like similar to production for the AIs. I just sent you another two things from this game with ABCs enabled.
Okay, which one should I open?
Um, I think it
Should
should
do both.
be Ayavata. I don't know, Iroquois, I think. Yeah, so he just conquered most of Indonesia, and
Oh
you can
wow.
clearly see he is doing very well, like really, really well.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe I will show also how I was doing at the same time because it would make you like understand what is happening here.
Yeah,
It was really not funny. Like it was good to see AIs back at their strength, and they are like uh, Shanghai conquered Stockholm and some city states. Hayabata conquered Indonesia, so it's all like the AIs are doing what they supposed to do.
yeah.
I think very good.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously possible. It's possible to make any system hard if you like put the correct numbers in.
Yeah, but to be honest, when I taken out, yeah, and this is my little empire
Nice.
with really like I think Shanghai and Iroquois have capital with 15 pop. I have 8 and struggling to gain more. And this start was kind of good, I think. I went for God of the Nature because I had many natural wonders.
Yeah.
And I went Stonehenge after Monument, so uh, I was really pissed off when I didn't get a religion
Yeah.
because they were so good at getting religion. It was really like the Korea, but Korea has instant monopoly, but still they connected it quite late because the map was not really good for them, but they reformed and enhanced before I would get a chance to get a religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing is when I eliminated B and C from the bonuses, uh, the game feels just exactly how it should feel.
Really.
Yes, I can give you a screenshot from my current game with Japan.
So this is still with 80%,
Yes, this is absolutely the same
50%.
as your 50%, 80% on growth percent,
Okay.
uh, and full 14 base ABCs. I mean, only full A, 375, but no B and no C.
Okay.
Um, and I was able to get Stonehenge into Statue of Zeus because I want the Statue of Zeus.
Oh,
From,
bro. Don't
of
get me
course.
started on Statue of Zeus, man. We're not talking about it.
What, do you think it is good or is it bad?
I think it's
Because
bad.
very. Oh, really?
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always go terracotta into Angkor Wat, and this is fucking boring, so I wanted to get something else. And, like, when you are Japan with boosted barracks for faith and culture, and it gives you free barracks, it is not that bad.
Okay.
Uh, this is another game like I'm having now, and this is absolutely the same, but without B and Cs. Yeah, 11.
I get. Yeah.
Uh,
It depends. I think if you're going early war, I think Statue of Zeus is bad then. But if you're just getting religion and chilling a bit, it's all right.
yeah, the thing is, I had a copper stat with gold as a second one, so I want Stonehenge for the mining pantheon
Yeah.
because I think it is good, not amazing, but it is like balanced good, not like God of the Open Sky or God of Stars and Sky.
Yeah.
Basically, every pantheon that is have sky in in its name is just OP. That should be, I think, uh, looked at by the devs.
Wait, what's the other one?
Tangerine.
Oh, Stars and Sky. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sick one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're in the middle there. Wow, I'm surprised they're not even further ahead. To be honest, with
No, they are ahead. They are completely ahead in text. Like each one of them have like 4 or 5 texts ahead. The
right,
thing is, I still got the Old Faithful in Osaka. I
right,
wasn't I wasn't like working it very early because I wanted the city to grow because it is a very good city,
right.
anyways. But yeah, it is like I had a really good start. All these mines are getting me a crap ton of production and culture and faith and gold
Yeah,
too. And like you can see. all of them have more cities. All of them have more units. Especially Zulus declared on me
Yeah.
just not too long ago. But I was able to get a declaration of friendship with Mongolia, which was very nice because we
Yeah.
will have a because like really Zulus are kind of OP in my view. The units are completely out of this like normal calculations when my swordsman can easily kill his war elephant but cannot kill his spearman. And yeah, just and yeah, it shouldn't be allowed, I think. But um they are so strong, even with I think samurais and with swordsman. I'm currently doing a swordsman rush. Well,
Right.
I don't rush because I have my cities very well developed, but what kind of rush? I will not go after either Mongolia or the Zulus. I will not go after Mongolia until very late game, or maybe even because I think I am too weak right now, and I will need to go to kill Korea first. I settled cities, especially like in mind to block Seoul to get any other city west. So I will go straight for the capital.
Right.
But they won't be an easy target. They will be kind of good to get because I will have samurais and well maybe I'll not samurais because I will start with with swordsmen and catapults, but they have a lot of army themselves.
Yeah.
And really, it is only because this is. I forgot to just take screen. I'm after the war with Zulus, and it was not like Tokyo was about to get completely crushed by the Zulus. We have a lot of units. They war at like Mongolia before, but the fortunate declaration of war from Mongolia, Zulus, like saved my Tokyo from being conquered. Really,
Yeah. That would be a rough
no
one.
messing with the AI. Like I was hoping that desert and hills would stop them, but I completely forgot that they have +1 movement on each of the units, and this is like I don't even know how to start on this because they will just get the everlasting youth fountain or something like this.
True. True. Do you know, I saw a pretty cool thing in the Netherlands game. The
Yeah.
Zulus. They had one of their infantry was just running around with 4 movement, and I was like, "What? Like, what's going on here?" And it turned out it was a musketeer that they then given their bonuses to, and you could still technically have mobility on top of that, so you could have a 5 movement infantry as the Zulus.
Where from?
So a musketeer from a city state, then the movement bonus from the Zulus, then get mobility on top of it.
But what do you mean ability? Which one?
The Zulu ability with the +1 movement.
Yeah, but wasn't that the second thing you talked about? The which is another +1 movement from the Zulus.
Right, and then
I think you
mobility, just the normal promotion.
or the normal promotion like the March or something.
Wait, what? Oh, I'm an idiot then.
I don't think there is a normal one.
I thought you could get
For
mobility on infantry.
no, I think it is only like lightning warfare,
Ah, no,
but
no,
it's
it's there, it's there.
mobility. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, all right, you're right.
Thought I was going mad there.
Uh, I'm kind of looking to when they will get autocracy because you can get they will all have +5 movement, I think, because lightning warfare, which is a promotion on the musketeer, you will get from on your all units that are like gunpowder, melee, and tanks from autocracy tenets.
Does that? I don't think that is for infantry.
I think tanks and infantry. Yeah, gun units.
No, it's
Oh,
the
but without a movement. Yeah. So it's different than the musketeer one, but
weird.
it is called the same. It is called the same lightning warfare. So they get ignore enemy zone of control plus 15% attack and one movement on top of that. It will default to here, so I think you need to go to promotions. Or just type musketeer and go into promotion. That will be easier, I think.
Well, I mean, it must be. Yeah, they must be separate promotions, but I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's long to look up.
Yeah. So they will not get on the infantry, but yeah, they will still have like um +4 if they select the mobility promotion on the
Yeah,
infantry.
yeah, yeah. Which is already quite weird. And mech
Yeah,
infantry is 3 base as well in it, so
yeah, it's free. Yeah,
you can get up to 5 that way.
yeah. I hope when the mobile tactics will be on, they will not be a threat anymore. Because, like, when I see Zulus, this is one of the factions that I don't want to vassal. I just want to kill them all. Like, they're too much of a threat and like a disgusting thing on the face of the earth that I
All
need
right.
to. Just
What
because there's promotions, they should just be changed, in my opinion.
what
But
about
maybe go.
this? Right. For an
Yeah,
idea. When you okay, I mean vassal's already too good, but when you vassalize someone, you like you when you go into a new era and they give you some units,
units. Yeah.
they should give you their unique unit if it's like, applicable to that time period.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, what if what they should, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, they don't. But what if they?
Yeah, what if they did?
Yeah, I would still kill them. It's just, it's just like uh, it strikes me as a little completely like historically strange because like we know that Gazebo has a PhD in history, like
Does he?
uh, yeah, comparative imperialism or something like that. So,
Wow.
like we were talking the other day that some uh, action like policies choices are just strange, like uh, tradition Japan or tradition Greece.
Yeah.
It is really it really doesn't make any sense. Like even progress for Persia would be more historically um, like applicable because they were kind of well, they were called the first liberal empire, and they even allowed the Jews from Babylonian captivity to just go home and have their own temples and so on.
Right.
I think Darius or Cyrus or one of those guys was responsible for that. So
Yeah.
uh, lots of different stuff that is kind of weird, and especially if you go like authority for Persia and you don't go authority for Germany, it is really strange.
Yeah.
But who knows what his thoughts are?
Yeah. Well, it might be the unique abilities that are a bit more weird than the policy choices because the unique abilities are kind of the things that dictate the policy choices more than the history. But maybe if they were more historically accurate in the first place, then the policy choices would follow.
What do you mean? I think if you take a look at Greece or at like the another one, which is Japan, there is no way they go tradition if they have any sort of intelligence.
Right, but like, would Japan make sense as a tradition civilization if it wasn't for the fact that their ability was completely revolved around capturing cities?
You mean historically?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Japanese is like an oddball because it's like an island nation that, yeah, they were warring a lot, but mostly internally. They tried to conquer China. They conquered Korea. They tried to conquer Indonesia and, of course, maybe not conquer United States, but knock them out of the war in World War II.
Right.
And it's like we don't really know because the history is much like starts. They don't have like antiquity period in the history. We don't have any sort of evidence what happened there. Maybe they even the Japanese island weren't even like populated by the same people as now. It's really hard to know, but still, they kind of just have the samurai thing, the Bushido thing, and they were warring a lot, and they were kind of. They also have this sea ban like China, so they only traded in one port for centuries with Portuguese ones, like merchants. So it's really hard, but I think tradition would, well, much more sense than progress, but I still would go authority for them. It's not because, well, Japan is kind of a good one to talk about because it's not about the history or maybe even conquest, but they have this cultural thing that honor like authority, respect for people of authority, for elders, for your like superiors.
Yeah,
is really important in Japanese in a way that is completely unthinkable in Western world right now. I mean, even now. So I think it would make a lot of sense to go authority because authority got displaced in like disciplines and honor that are known as a Japanese traits for a very long time. I think.
Couldn't you regard respecting your elders as like a tradition thing because it's like respecting tradition of the past?
Yeah, but like respecting your elders in general, but in the whole culture in Japan, it was revolving. Also, there was a state religion that reminds me a lot because the Shinto was like the same thing with maybe not the same thing, but it was fused with wars and military and position of not Caesar, what is called the emperor, yeah, the emperor in Japan. So the state was the same as religion.
Yeah.
It is also it was kind of the same in Roman Empire and Russia, which were kind of very warring states. And the disrespecting your elders is just one part of it because like this whole honor thing and this whole discipline thing applied a lot to the military, which was of course before the World War II the main unifier of the Japanese society. I think they had conscription, and they nearly conquered a lot of half of China, and Korea and so on. So, yeah, and it is also not like only for others. It is also in the workplace. It is also in any position. Like, do you know the Japanese mafia and so on, the yakuza?
Right.
It's like a famous shit for the feudal relationships within the Japanese society, and they are kind of accepted and widespread.
Right.
They are not operating only on illegal stuff like on the Western legal like organized crime. So I think authority would make a lot of sense, but also tradition, yeah, kind of. But if we just go with it, also I think the one of the deciding factors in Civ 5 vanilla was the character of a leader that was chosen.
Right.
So, like Oda Nobunaga was only a general. Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense for them in the game to go tradition.
Yeah, for the game mechanics, I think they should go authority, and we can have like another Japan or major rework for them to go tradition. But I think tradition is already the most represented one. policies.
Yeah. Well, they're already. I mean, it's tradition or authority. I don't know which one is more. I know Celts are tradition as well, which is another kind of
Yeah,
strange one.
I don't like cults anyway.
I mean, Netherlands being tradition, I don't think I agree with that either. I think they should be
Mm,
progress.
yeah, but they are one hell of a lot more flexible as tradition than Japan or cults.
Right.
Poland can go just any policy and it doesn't matter, it would still win. So
Yeah, Poland is a super scary AI. Super scary.
well, to be honest, in my most of my guess, it just dies before like medieval Renaissance. But
Yeah.
I think it should be reworked completely. It is just the UA is just OP.
If they make it
No
to
doubt.
late game, that's like probably the only AI that can actually kind of keep up with you if you're level with them on late game with normal settings currently.
Yeah, but it really not happens very often.
Yeah. All right, let's
Go
bring
back
it
to
back.
difficulty.
Yes. So
All right.
yeah, you're saying with my changes plus some bonuses at the start so that the
Yeah.
AIs are like stronger and have a good start. I mean, would you say it's like good how it is now, or I guess you haven't played a full game to really know, but
Yeah, with I didn't play a full game with A bonuses only,
yeah,
and the rest of your mod. So I want to play now, but I'm seeing that AI are like both the religion, both your development is reasonable. Like you are not met with AIs that will be one whole era above you.
right,
So it feels reasonable. Like you seem, I can with not slightly worse start and slightly because my capital uh, was very weak in development and was very weak in population, but like
should have gone tradition.
with right, of course, but like uh, the thing is. Uh, This was my decision. I had all this mining stuff, and I wanted to utilize it to the full potential to grab both Statue of Zeus and Terracotta. And I delayed also a fifth settler, so that's another thing.
Yeah,
And I delayed my army a lot, and this was not sensible when the Zulus declared on me. But yeah, it is like I knew what I was doing after the Forges rush. I was just getting swordsmen in all of my cities. I had already an order in my capital, so
yeah,
it also helped. But, yeah, it was good on this front, but at the same hand, you see the Zulus army, and you see you don't really see, but most of the AIs have already 5 or 6 cities,
right, which is more
and
than you.
yeah, which is more than me, and they are around 5 techs ahead.
Right.
They are not above me on policies, but
Yeah,
mostly because I have a very good pantheon, which is of course the one that gives one culture for uh, mines, and
yeah,
plus my unique ability as Japan, which gives me one the Earth Mother on above. Yeah, very good one.
yeah, yeah. That's a fun one actually. I've never had like a game that I've managed to get it to work, but if you can, I'm sure it's a good one.
Yeah, if you are in a position to prioritize food, it is not so good.
Yeah,
But if you know what you are doing, you have good minds. It can also work well, for tradition if you have a salt start,
yeah.
because it
I
will
like
not stop
mines as
food.
tradition actually. That's one of the better resources I think. Or
Yeah, of
I don't know,
course.
kind of. um,
Yeah, we both don't like farms as any
yes,
policy, I guess.
it's
Like
true.
farms are really bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd be interested to hear how that game goes. Like currently, where my current version of the difficulty is that
Yeah.
I've made a slightly different change, which is to basically repurpose the ABC bonuses, and instead of using the city's founding triggers and the era triggers, to do it as um, a like certain amount of turn triggers. So basically, I was using once every 10 turns that it would all trigger, and I was trying it out with mostly money, and that seemed to be quite good actually because it helps them get all their production done, um, whilst they still have the same policy and tech reduction without bonus tech, so they're not like way ahead on tech. But potentially it still is a little bit too easy at the start. Could still do with some adjustment. But that's what this was on, and I definitely felt like this game, like, even though I had immortals, I was struggling for real to take down Zulus who I forward settled. And
Yeah. Suicide. Like, ah, completely. Oh,
also, I think it's hard because I feel like we're still in the mode of the games we've been playing where we feel like if we're ever ahead, then it's too easy. But it's actually possible that they could still come back, given that they're going to have a lot more science and culture late game than they normally would.
yeah. I think if you will find it too easy, the second thing you can add apart from gold would be golden ages points, because like straight culture and science is, well, we know where it leads. It leads to really weird jumps and
Yeah,
classical and medieval and so on.
yeah,
But with golden ages point, it would scale very good. Like it would not give them basically anything when they have 2 or 3 cities,
yeah,
because there's 20% production and culture, but it would scale well into the late game. So the guys who prioritize the Golden Ages points with artistry, stupas, or the holy worship will be rewarded, and
yeah,
the guys who will not will still have some chance of getting it, but not so ridiculous. So they will not get permanent Golden Age.
yeah. True, I could do that. I mean, it's not nearly the amount because they're already getting golden age points in the normal version, and they get a crap ton, so it wouldn't be that level. I did give them a
Yeah.
discount on a golden age cost as well, so
Is it governed by the AI growth percent or?
yeah, yeah.
All right, so they have a -20.
But yeah, more golden age points could work too. And I'll play around with the gold, try and get it so that they're having a good enough start without just having infinite money. Because I feel like that's another slight issue I have with current VP, where on deity the economy is kind of completely fucked because all the AIs just have infinite money. And they basically spend their game like funding your empire because you just keep taking money off them.
Yeah, especially with current prices of strategic resources.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. But I think if we, like, I know in my game they are needed, and I know that I will prioritize, like, for example, a pasture over a mine or farm
Yeah.
or a luxury resource, only because I can sell it high. And it will be a trade-off because I will not send iron when I am about to get a swordsman, so I will have to get it fast if I want to sell it before I will need to use it. So it's
Right.
like very good, but with a normal A of 375 and all of your stuff, the game is really challenging, and I can feel it. I feel like the good thing I feel is like like there's a timer over my shoulder
Yeah.
that ticks constantly. That if I will not conquer this Korea fast, I will not try to get Arabia, which has a very like difficult terrain.
Yeah.
The Zulus can snowball over the Mongolia, and my game will be over. I am 100% sure. I will not be able to stop them.
Yeah.
No way. So
I think that's one of the things I
I think it is
really,
very
yeah, one of the things I really, really want to create is that feeling of like actually trying to figure out what the AIs are gonna do based on like who they are and their land and stuff. Like actually being able to tell, oh shit, this AI has got a really good religion with a good land. Like they're gonna actually be really good this game. Like I've got to get to them, or the Zulus are going to be really powerful. We kind of know that as long as they get a decent start. So
yeah.
it's not just like, oh well, the AIs are just doing the AI thing, aren't they? Like whatever, they'll do their thing. I'll do my thing, and I'll probably catch up later on. Like it's actually based on the game and what's going on.
Yeah, it also like it will make the game kind of more open to authority. And the thing after we will get the difficulty get like done, we will have to balance it furthermore so the tradition and progress would also be viable on the AT because
Yes.
we like play a very certain way, and authority is with the current situation with a lot of barbarians,
Yeah.
and generally it is very strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we would have to. I think if I would go in progress, I would be majorly screwed. The game with neighbors I had, the Japan one,
Yeah.
I would just.
It's tough.
I would be out-teched by Korea. I would be outgunned by the Mongolia and the Zulus. I would be out-cultured by Arabia, and no way to conquer them easily.
It is really tough actually to make it balanced for. I mean, yeah, it's basically impossible to make it balanced for the policy trees because if you make it possible for a tradition person to have like a good start and get going, then you've basically just made it really easy for an authority player to
Authority, yeah,
just dump to
exactly.
their closest civ. So it's tough, but I'll keep working on it. I guess I'll just keep because now I've got it all kind of stored up. I can make all the changes quite quickly, so I'll keep doing it on the new patches, and like we'll just keep working on it. But if you guys, I mean, I'll put the link. Obviously, you guys can check it out and let me know what you think. And there's the thread on the Civ Fanatics where you can post what you think. So
Yeah,
definitely open to suggestions.
the more of you will play it, and the more of you will give feedback, this faster and better we will like make it work.
Yeah,
So mod can be like really good shit after some tweaking.
yeah. And I mean, we both think it's promising. Like, I honestly have been enjoying my games a lot more, even though it's not perfect
Absolutely,
right
I am
now.
not even going back to old ABCs. Well, they have like old charm when you are classical and Catherine is approaching Renaissance. But, it doesn't make her strong anyway. So what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we are on a very good track to get this thing rolling, and I think that yeah, like I said, if maybe are very long plans, but I know that Pineapple then did something like that with some of the things he did. He disagreed with Gazebo on some things. He put his own mod, and then when the mod get popular, it got implemented into the base VP. So
Oh, really?
this is a way
What was that?
was the
I
case
don't think I was around
uh,
for that.
with yeah, me too. I just dig it up with promo spearman and Skirmisher unit line. These were two separate mods, I think, that got implemented at different occasions.
Okay.
They are not in his posts when he has links because they are obsolete now because they implemented into the game.
Yeah.
But they are on the mods repository. And one was that before the Spearman got plus 50 combat strength against mounted units, and he made them God Formation 1 instead, which is I think was very good one.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
more
I
aligned
remember.
with Tercio shit.
Yeah.
After that, and other one was I think something with promotions on the skirmishes, but I'm not sure on the
Yeah.
details.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's not ideal having like two separate things because it's hard to discuss like deity. Are we talking about this deity? Are we talking about normal deity? But I do feel quite strongly about this, and I have done for a while. So that's kind of the reason I'm doing it.
Yeah, and to be honest, if you are talking like this, like that deity, like everybody plays its own deity, and it is already way before your mod. Like I sometimes, when I was still on the forums, I was arguing with Iliot S, I think, and with Kavuya or something like that, the guy
Right.
with a anime or like manga image in his avatar. And,
Yeah.
I was like, and I thought that the one uh, is playing with a legendary start nearly always on the deity, and has like um, uh, and like different things that that really changes the game. It's like they will completely okay with the lack of aggression from the AIs, and it was like I was also arguing with Steve, like not like hard arguments, but I mean just we have all different opinions, and I didn't know why they are so like different in their opinions than me. And what I seen is that I always, I was talking with recursive how to get the aggression work, and I bumped up the aggression and all the non-neutral modifiers percentage for both AIs between themselves and a
Yeah.
human client to really high. It is mostly 50% more than the normal one. So the wars are very frequent. Like you see, the AIs are already conquering themselves in classical, and this can happen to players also very very often. So the thing was, and I just saw the Steam game and the uh, Poland photojournal, contrast photojournal. Do you remember this
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, and he was having crossbowman and pikeman and information era as his only units, or like maybe not only, but most of his units. When he was winning the game with science with no declarations of war, and I thought that that makes kind of a difference between my games and your games, guys.
Right.
So I
Right.
think we should balance again. Like the differences will be always made the
Right.
compliance, but we should balance again realistic things. So more aggression, less free text and less free policies for the AIs, and just more reasonable stuff. And it will be harder, believe me, because it is. I think it is already harder with when I bump this ABC bonuses back.
Yeah.
So I think this is the way to play. And another thing, I think, like Milae that will not tell you guys, but he will. He has put a lot of work on the stuff. You can see it on GitHub and other places. So you basically get another patch with this mod because it clears up a lot of the tribute
Oh, yeah, that is true.
like bugs and other things. With I think also the did you manage to get the like imperialism fixed with
Yes, that's
Polish? Yeah.
fixed. And
So
strategics.
basically, that's another patch in itself because there was a lot of bugs and Gazebo is away, so there is no one to like implement anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, like most of the shit is done through recursive or you right now.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest,
Iteral's been doing stuff as well. Like
I
there's a
think you
lot
should
of
get like
fixes.
developer golden like I don't know with for you and for recursive because you guys are doing right now you because Gazebo will just come and he will this should be changed, he will implement and this will be done.
Yeah.
And you are like testing it, you are writing the code or clearing up the code. Yeah, that's just play it for the sake of bug fixes because a lot of work was done in it. I think like not only the 3-bit fixes, not only the monopoly fix, because you also fix the thing that strategic monopolies are not
Yeah.
like when you save the game. Yeah, so this is another one. Did you also manage to get the colonialism policy to work with
Uh
great person points?
yeah, I got rid of that. Yeah.
So this is fucking another one. And
It doesn't
yeah, I
have
think
the
that
city state units though, which is another one that will be fun on the next patch, but I don't have that
yeah,
on this right now, unfortunately.
you can see guys for yourselves. It's just amazing work that was put in it and just make the game really better because with colonialism before it was really messy with all those monopolies.
Yeah. And that, I mean, do you remember when I was saying how this is like the best policy in the game?
Yes, I remember.
That was before even knowing it had some ridiculous bugs. Like it was basically giving every golden age person point in every single city +3 every turn.
Yeah, I don't know how you would know because I told you that it is something like this, and because I noticed it already, like the first moment I opened colonialism, and you are like, no, I didn't know this is how you can not know this like
Yeah.
great people out of thin air in every city is ridiculous.
I mean, looking
But
back, I obviously can think like, oh yeah, there was times I was trying to time my great people, and they just kept being built anyway, and I was like, what? Where are these points coming from? But I never
yeah,
like
and well,
checked it.
like the thing also is like you don't work on some great people and they just pop up really fast out
Yeah,
of nowhere.
yeah, that was a weird
But
one.
yeah, it's like colonialism also had this bug with amazing combat strength on some units.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mentioned that quite a few times in the Netherlands series because I had to keep getting rid of it. But I think it had been happening for ages. Like I didn't even notice it before, but there was quite a few series I think
Yeah,
where I was just killing units, like one-shotting them. Like whoa, how am I so strong? But it was bugged.
yeah. To be honest, I think even without colonialism, I still have a feeling that sometimes when I battle against skirmishers, there is something definitely wrong with the calculation because one of my units that is basically has the same combat strength, like for example a swordsman or a pikeman,
Yeah,
uh, will have like the same promotions, the same combat strength, and one of them against the same skirmisher will get like 40, will take him 40 HP, and the other one will take him 80 HP from him. So this is something wrong. But it,
yeah,
I don't really know what causes it because it's way before colonialism or even second policy tree is happening. But
well, you know,
usually,
skirmishers, they have the penalty for being on rough terrain.
yeah. But if they have penalty, well, like no matter if they are in rough or in open terrain, why one unit will make them twice the damage
Yeah.
with the same motions? I think it is applied. But there is some, combat bonus plus 50 or miscellaneous plus 50, and you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
All exactly like this. But the same on this two units. But sometimes one unit will get only half of this damage. I don't
Yeah.
know why. And the same unit is like standing right next to it, and it do it much harder damage. And I don't think it is stemming from the flanking bonus, because the flanking bonus should be the same if they
Hmm.
have only this one unit standing beside them.
Yeah, no, I don't know. There's been quite a few bugs with skirmisher combat strength, so I haven't been involved in fixing them though, because there was some things where they were actually more powerful on rough terrain or doing more damage and stuff, and I've definitely
You
seen
said
if
you were or you weren't?
I wasn't. So
I wasn't. Yeah, so this is the first thing you wasn't involved in fixing the VP I heard.
well, it's been reported a few times, so I don't know if it's fixed now or not.
Yeah, there are some recurring bugs, like with the strategics from city states, that sometimes you get. I sometimes get 0 strategics if I have a monopoly bond, like not monopoly, but statecraft policy that imports from city states,
Right.
and all of my strategics are reset to 0. So,
That ain't good. That doesn't even get better on reload, does it?
yeah, no, it is the whole game. And if you build something like Ironworks, I think that should give you +2 iron. It gets even worse because it permanently gives you -2 iron. But I think it should be like there were some bugs that were caused by Elteroi just putting a minus instead of plus, or plus instead of minus somewhere. So I guess it's just a typo somewhere in the code, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time though, is it? So it seems like one of those things where it just glitches sometimes, and then
I was making I think a thread one time, and some of the older guys from the forums said that he was reporting in on the GitHub like several times, and
right.
never was really achieved. So I think the devs are kind of clueless what can make it happen. And on the other hand, it is maybe so rare that they don't have to think about it all the time.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
To be honest, I'm still amazed that you was able to take down the Zulus so early, but I guess most of it comes to that you have unique unit very early.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of units. I wonder if I have any saves from this one. Is that? Oh, I actually have saves from everywhere.
Whoa!
What turn do you want to see?
I don't know, maybe 110, something from the early war.
You know,
Like,
what? Yeah, what I think happened is I
but I
was.
think 110 would be much after Immortals are good, because by the time you should have Swordsman, and the Zulus would also have Swordsman, or am I wrong?
Yeah, they have swordsmen, but I think we played around here for a while, and I wasn't really making a huge amount of progress. I just built up to force limit, and I just kind of got bored, and then I just rushed all my units forward and had some catapults, and they couldn't kill them because they're immortals. So
Yeah, that makes sense. If they are immortal, you shouldn't be able to kill
I think
them.
they
That's where
didn't like.
bonus stuck with Medic 1 and 2.
Well, yes,
Because I was disappointed when you checked out for the Macaulay series that very unique
yeah.
Grey General is basically wasted.
Well, it's still useful because it's nice to not have to try and get everyone positioned and everything.
Yeah, but you could easily replace that by one scout or one skirmisher with. So
Yeah.
it's kind of really meager bonus.
Yeah. No, this does though because it's just a separate thing. It's just like uh, they just heal 10 additional, and then you still get the adjacency bonus for being next to a medic.
So you feel like 30 in a neutral territory and 40 in your.
With a medic too, yeah. I think I was taking March on a lot of these guys when I got them up there. So
Does it still apply with a march? They heal 25, whatever they do.
I assume so. I wasn't specifically watching it, but
Oh,
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I would take Woodsman in a lot of this.
Yeah, maybe actually. That's one I always forget about.
Yeah, Woodsman is really good. I was not paying attention for a long time for this one, but it
Yeah.
turned out this is really.
No, I should go for it. I always forget about it. You have to go. Do you have to be up here on the path?
Oh, you can get it with drill, I think, but it is
Shock
no,
2.
yeah, or drill free.
Right.
But I think shock is generally better for infantry,
Yeah.
unless you go. I want one or two units to get city assault and stalwart, of course. But as authority and one monger, you should be attacking, not defending, really.
Yeah, and I think you want to have your catapults doing damage to cities if you can, and like
Yeah.
they do so much more if you just get these guys to get the unit kills because they get the heal as well when you're authority. It's
Yes.
kind of good to have them have the extra combat strength. All right, is this guy gonna heal? Yeah, he did 30 in friendly territory.
30. So it was 15 plus 25.
This guy's only medic 1, so
Oh, yeah, I understand now.
yeah. So I mean, I wasn't like I said, I wasn't really getting anywhere, and then I just built up to force limit, and they just couldn't really deal with it. I kind of AI'd the AI.
Yeah. Yeah, nice one, because if you wouldn't be able to grab them early on, they would become a massive like pain in the ass, especially after impies would come online.
I already warred them like straight away actually as well. Like the first thing I did was go and forward settle them and then start warring them. So I like slowed them down again, even though I didn't kill a settler or anything. Oh wow. So in 10 turns went from that to this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. With all, I see only one no, two catapults. No, three catapults.
I had
I
like
think that
5,
the
I think.
third one is only getting to the battlefield. Oh, no, for fourth. Oh, yes. Yeah, really strange, because catapults are usually not so good. I think they should be buffed a little. They're really weak, I can see this.
Yeah. Well, the problem is normally you're fighting against castles, aren't you? So they didn't have
Yeah, no,
castles here.
to be honest, when I have castles, I don't. When they already have castles, I just wait.
Yeah,
If it is
exactly.
not a capital city, I will take it, but not against a capital, especially tradition city with a castle. Catapults are not going to get anywhere. Absolutely, even 3 or 4 catapults. And if you are playing a competitive game, you are not in position to make them all fire on the same turn for like 10 turns. You will have to rotate units. Sometimes
Yeah.
you will have to retreat a little, so it's just too much of a gamble to take.
Yeah.
And the AI can easily one-shot your catapults if it has a ranged unit in a city. But what I watched, what I noticed a lot is that sometimes when I am seeding, the AI is just not having a unit in a city.
Yeah.
This is strange.
Yeah.
They should be hard coded to always have it. because otherwise, um, otherwise it is just very easy to. I think you could easily get double damage from a unit not being in a city.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Like there would be up to 30 or something with a decent unit in there probably. So, well, maybe not 30, but it makes a few
I
more
think
combat strength is a lot.
it could be easily 28, 29, or even 30.
Yeah. I think sometimes when they feel like the city's lost, that's when they move away. But yeah, there's other times where they're
But the
not.
city is untouched yet, and they will move out. I don't know what is the reason.
Well, I can't attack it, I guess, but
Yeah, you would have to get rid of the swordsman first on next turn.
so I mean, this is one of the things.
I think we don't know if there is no unit in London. It is still in the fog of war.
Oh wow, there is. It's just flatland.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I would be not judging Shaka for making capital on flatland because I settle a lot of my cities on flatland, not on hills, to just secure um, more mines close
But
to. So
yeah,
I know you are more for the cities on hills.
no, the capital is fine. Like, but obviously you've got to then do your other cities based around that. Like, if you've got a flatland capital, you don't then go and settle your first city here and let Persia settle here. That's just not a play.
I think if you would be playing Zulus, you would be fine. I think. But if you would be playing Zulus, you would just settle your second city 3 tiles away from Persepolis anyway.
Yeah, probably. And like, I feel like.
Okay, go on.
I feel like in order to get this city, I did have to kind of attack from all like the way that I did it. An AI is never going to do that. So even though like it was the correct thing to do,
I think it will if it has the massive superiority. Like it has its own cities from the 3 sides, like you do. To be honest,
yeah,
it would. Because I saw AI do such a thing, and this is usually when I lost.
yeah.
Because
Well,
it just if I would just allow Zulus to snowball, they would easily do that because they would have so much units and so much cities.
yeah.
So can you hover again on the Pantheon because I want to see if you got a yeah you did got
I
on
got
the
the
open
good one.
sky.
Yeah.
Did you went for tonnage?
I did not.
Oh, and you still was able to get a roll it. But you play only with the gold, yeah?
Yeah, I think I was early 80s though. I went shrine first, and I had quite a few deer as well. So
yeah, shrine first. Oh,
because
well, I think something needs to be done because the Stonehenge is just like pyramids are too weak. Stonehenge is just too strong, and shrine first is just too weak. Also, I think. Like you can manage it because you are so good of a player, but if normal guy went not monument, he just wants to play like deity but more casual than us.
right,
He would not manage because like you really need. I always go monument first as authority and every policy because I need this opener to get culture from chaos.
okay, so that's true, but so the reason I didn't is because I wanted to go trapping first. I didn't want to go wheel first because my land was honestly like before I had the deer, I had one food, one production tiles. So it was like I probably wouldn't have even got Stonehenge if I'd gone for it. So I kind of felt like I had to.
I still think you would have it. It usually goes turn 40 or maybe 38.
No,
That is kind of.
not on this. It's like 35, pretty much
Oh,
always.
really?
Maybe I'll have it.
Yeah.
I would be surprised. But maybe, well, on the other hand, I very often go Stonehenge myself, and I also very like high production starts. So
Yeah.
my opinion can be screwed.
All right.
Yeah, but
they're
you
both
cannot go.
gone, I think. Oh no. Yeah, they're both gone.
Yeah, it would be. I'm pretty sure it would become because Stonehenge is always, well, not always, but many times earlier than pyramids for the AI.
Yeah.
But for the AI, pyramids are more dangerous, in fact, in the hands of the AI.
Well, with ABCs, yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, so
I am
33.
Yeah, I am going to just not talk about the fact that turn 150 something, the India capital was 33 population, because it's
Oh, was it?
yes, and the second city, the Mumbai that you see here was 23.
Right.
So I think that's, and I know that in my game it would be even more because I would have full A.
They
So
were getting
that's
bonus food as well, yeah.
Yeah, so probably like 2 or 3 citizens more. But the
That's
thing
crazy.
that you have in your favor, I think that was very good, because otherwise this game could be a loss.
Right.
Because, yeah, the Zulus are really dangerous. The thing that he has a really not good start. I don't think AI could really. I don't even know if they go trapping first on the start.
They
Or
always go
mining.
pottery, I think, pretty much.
Yeah, and it would probably work something like this incense, which is total crap.
Yeah. Well, they don't like production. They never work production. It's just always food.
Yeah.
That's why their cities are so big with the extra growth modifier as well.
Yeah, that was really. I'm kind of curious if, like, the governor for the city can have this like policies for production, food, faith, and so on. These automatic ones. So I'm kind of curious if default or like, because we can't go for the production one because it will like make them cities not grow at all. But if we make like more less of a food focus but more production focus on a default one, I think it will make a massive difference to the game.
No, that's what I think as well. I mentioned that I think Iteral has made some changes, so we'll see how it works. But this has been an issue for a while.
Yeah, and it is quite buggy, I think.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to make a difference what focus you put it on anyway. It just does what it wants.
No, it really does make a difference, but you have a really poor tiles. Like most of your tiles are one food, one production, or one food, one gold. So it doesn't really have any choice.
But even if you have actual production tiles, it still just doesn't care.
Yeah, because it wants like a threshold, like a ceiling for a food that it wants, like for another citizen to grow, and only then it will select another production tiles.
Yeah.
Because I see when I have a high production, high food city, it selects, and I have unlocked to production focus. It selects the best mine or the best production when the new citizen is born until I assign it manually. But if the
Really?
city has only high production, it will always go to high food, or just not even high. It would prioritize 2 food over 5 production easily,
Yeah.
because otherwise it would just be like 80 turns to another citizen. So
Right.
I think it has like some threshold for food or for another citizen to be born quickly.
It might be something to do with there used to be a bug where the cities would sometimes lose population after they grew, so maybe they just like made some mega focus on food to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the cities were not. The cities were basically starving, and I think as Venice, you didn't even had an option to correct that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I should really pray for the people who don't lock every tile manually.
Oh, it must be
Because,
brutal right now
yeah,
with the urbanization as well from puppets or from any city, because it will go over the urbanization cap very often.
yeah. So it is just. Oh, I don't know how they'll play, but I'm kind of really respect people who can win without locking every tile manually. Because what the governor will choose and we will have to stick with it is just it would be atrocious for any of my games.
I think if you at least, I would definitely click the manual specialist control button at least, which is normally there or wherever it is. And
Yeah, I think they do it because they kind of want to control the specialists.
right.
Because otherwise, the governor would like work scientists instead of culture ones, and I think that culture ones should be maxed out first.
Nah, just always merchants, man. It's just every merchant possible will be worked. No science,
Yeah,
no culture needed.
I think it is. It is working a lot of merchants in puppets, from what I've seen.
Yeah. It's quite good as
Could be
Venice
correct.
though, because you get great merchants from your puppets.
I think the merchants are well. Maybe I'm maybe wrong with this, but my instinct is that they have the most yield from there. Like those specialists, merchant specialists will yield like 11 gold. At the same time, the scientists will yield only 8 science.
I'm not maybe. I thought it was just that they like gold a bit more than they like the others for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. Like, I don't know what the governor is thinking, but I'm just like saying that you would probably get more of the raw yield by going. With
Yeah,
To
true.
be honest, it's less. I think. No,
It was 6 and then 3.
six, 6, 5. Well, that's not a real.
Well, no, this is 3.
Oh, this is 3, but yeah, because of 2 from library. So yeah, and I think after you get caravanserai and so on, it will get even more.
Yeah, you might have a point actually, because they like civil servants after merchants.
Yeah, and the civil servant basic yield is gold. It is not science nor culture.
Yeah. So I guess it could be either. It could be the gold or that they just like the fact that it's got more in total.
Yeah, maybe, but because the value of different yields is not the same, um, it's just like they don't take account for that. Like I like to categorize the yields into like categories. Like the first one is the hard yields, which is I think is production, culture, and faith. So like they give you the best benefit and most immediate benefit. So you can like
Okay.
from I think they should be prioritized in most situations because you use them always, and the benefits when you are to use them are instant. So they are not like investment in the future. The like slower or weak yields are um, food, science, and goals that are only investment in the future that are convertible in production and science and other and culture and faith in the future, but they are not giving you anything in low term because if you get food, you get nothing out of this new citizen until he will get born and until he will work overyield. If you get science, you will get nothing out of science until you will be able to build units or build the wonders or buildings that are from the text that you are researching.
But isn't that the same with culture and faith?
No, I don't think so, because like culture, when you adopt a policy, gives you something immediate, and it is stronger than individual tech.
True.
And usually, I think like culture is the hardest yield, even more valuable than production, because
Yeah.
whenever you unlock a policy, it's a big change. Whenever you unlock a tech, and like it's immediate, you get like more of the, like you can go through each policy, and through more, like 75% of them, you get something. You get something instantly. And with tech, you get nothing instantly. There are some techs that gives you like +1 food on every farm. So if you have enough farms, you are feeling it.
Right.
If you have enough mines from like combustion +1, you can see that, and so on. But it is really weak compared to policies. So science needs to be turned by production into units and into buildings. And the gold is, of course, the weakest of them all, because gold is just convertible production.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basically it's worth half a production or a third, or however you want to value it, something around that. But it is kind of instant, at least, because you can buy stuff, which can technically be instant.
Yeah, but I still think it's the weakest yield of all of them. And I think faith is more valuable than food of science, to be honest, because faith is convertible just exactly like the gold, but it is convertible into more powerful things. Because you can get faith and culture. I mean, you can get experience for units, you can get a culture, you can get golden age points, you can get science. So you cannot gain instant science on instant culture from researching a tech alone. So science is weaker in generating science or culture than faith, in fact, in my opinion, most of the time.
Well, but you can't always convert. It depends what you can actually do with your faith, because you don't have every option available.
It gives you flexibility, and faith is usually very powerful. And it is more power, like you want to have a lot of science not in the early or mid game. You can have a perfect authority games without building councils for some time, for until medieval, to be honest. And you can, but it would be very hard if you will not get a religion or conquer a religion, or generally to not have a strong religion in the mid game, because like in like late, early, and early mid game, in classical and medieval and Renaissance eras, just faith is much better, I think.
So yeah, I still think science is decent. Like
arguable.
Yeah, I would probably put science a little bit above faith, but obviously it depends on the situation, and like there's kind of a limit of faith, because sometimes more faith can be a bit useless, but sometimes it can be super useful if you just need a bit more.
Yeah, because like many people just want more faith, but don't secure enough things like zealotry or like reformations to buildings. But yeah, especially if you go with holy worship and orders, which is of course the main faith generating mechanism in the game. I think the best one.
Yeah.
If you compare a lot, the other one may be only the Great Mausoleum or something like that, with tradition that gives you faith for expanding great people, but it kicks a lot later to be competitive.
Yeah. You can actually get a lot from that, but you have to spread your religion out to other cities as well, which can be quite difficult as tradition, and keep it.
Yeah, because it scales with a number of followers. I think up to 20 to 50 followers.
Cities.
Or the cities. Maybe I'm confusing with the other one.
I think it's 15 or 25 cities.
Yeah, and I think Way of Transcendence is scaling with followers, maybe. Yeah, you are right.
The Holy
Or
Law.
maybe the Holy Law. Yeah, the Holy Law. The Holy Law, I never take it, to be honest.
You did in the Netherlands game that you
Yeah,
made me
but I
play.
was, yeah, that was only because there was nothing left, nothing good left.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, the Netherlands game was a little, was really a race against Morocco
True.
while having two really powerful warmongers on each of your borders. So
Yeah, that was a rough game.
yeah, I would be kind of interested in replaying this on. Of course, it would not work anymore, but on the difficulty that we are now trying to like uh, tweak, and
Yeah.
I think it would be just going authority, and even maybe with going authority, it will be lost by medieval or Renaissance. It was just because I hate jungle starts for authority. I hate jungle starts in general, but I think we are the weakest starting um, terrain.
Yeah. I've often
Well,
wondered what could be done with jungles to make them better. I don't really know though. But
they don't even have a good pantheon, and that is a really, really when you compare it, for example, with the desert, which I think the desert is the best uh, starting terrain of all for both faith and generally good mix of oasis and floodplains with a lot of hills and like quarries on hills or mining luxuries on hills.
yeah.
This is amazing, amazing starts. And I really love deserts in VP, and they have a really strong. They also have a dedicated Wanda, the Petra, of course, which is another good thing. And they are generally very strong. And what do jungles have? Do they have a specific Wanda? No. Do they have a specific luxury that you can have like a jungle, real jungle, and then a luxury? No, you have to chop the jungle and then build a plantation.
Yeah, that
So
is a
that
big issue. It would be much better if that wasn't the case.
and they don't even have a normal like pantheon that buffs jungles.
Yeah, maybe you could just stick in like a really good jungle pantheon, but I mean, well, there's renewal, but it's not very good.
Our renewal is shit, to be honest. It's just even if you are going for a jungle heavy start, if you have a jungle luxury, uh, you will just chop the jungles and you will not even work enough uh, jungle jungle tiles to be worth it
You'd
because
have
you
to be
really want.
Brazil, I suppose. That's literally the only one. Or
Mm,
Mayans.
well, does Kuna clear the jungle? I don't remember. I think
No,
not.
it doesn't.
Yeah, but still, your normal luxury is the luxury and some high production or high food tiles are normally the things that you will be working in your first few cities
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
first. And most of this will not be jungle because even the bananas with the jungle are not worth working uh, because they are just, I think, plus free food. So you can easily get a pasture or luxury that will be plus free food, plus the production, plus the gold, for example,
Yeah.
instead of. So I think renewal should be completely changed. Maybe even to a point to give one production and one faith to all jungles.
Yeah, like the marsh one.
I don't like the marsh one to be honest because I don't have a. Usually, it is a lot of lakes that I have, and with only lakes, this pantheon is just weak, extremely weak. It just gives you more. Like when you have already a lot of lakes in your few cities, uh, you don't need more food. You
Yeah.
need more production. Yeah, so that is stupid. It would be great if it was +1 production, +1 faith.
It works really well for AIs, man. I've seen so many AIs have great starts with it. I mean,
Yeah, true.
but yeah, it's
Very
because you
true.
have to flip and clear the marsh eventually anyway, so it's another annoying one.
Yeah, but if it was switched from food to production, it would be strong Pantheon. Right now,
True.
for the humans, it is just, I think, weak.
Yeah, food is just
And
generally
plus
not good.
happiness, this +1 happiness on cities with rivers just feels very vanilla, just out of thin air, not really doing anything for anyone. Just really weird for a Pantheon to provide.
Yeah.
Really strange.
Let's have a little
Look.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow. Oh my.
11 or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10.
Plus these
Yeah.
three. Did you include the top three as well?
Yep. I will check one more. Now I see 8, but
I think it's 11 with all of them. It's a lot
oh,
anyway.
no,
But then
5.
Netherlands still over here on 5.
Yeah, I think it's 11.
Yeah. I mean,
So yeah. But what map is it? It is yours.
this is mine, but this is them. I've made some more changes, and I basically just made it a bit smaller.
Yeah, I see it. Like more less land tiles, you mean?
Yeah, I just squished it a bit. I just took away some of the width.
I think a good change, but to be honest, I like maps to be half between continents and Pangea. So, and now your one looks definitely more continents than Pangea.
Well, mine is it's random, so it can be Pangea or continents. Like it will be sometimes each.
Oh, I felt that because in your Netherlands claim, for example, you got a typical Pangea.
Yeah.
But I felt that, but I was convinced that it would be more like coded to give continents.
Well, the way the continents works is that it just makes like an ocean, so it will turn like whatever the like the up and down with the most water, it will turn it into an ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is just without any artificial ocean, so it's just whatever the map naturally creates, which can be continents or Pangea. And then when you put the oceans in, then you get the divides. So you put 2 oceans in, and then you have a continents map.
Yeah, but I think you just found your future main threat because this Spain is just they don't have a high population of their cities, especially compared to their neighbor to the west.
Ooh, yeah, they took the good Pantheon as well for their ability thing, innit?
Yeah, not a bad one. And of course, the very good founder belief, which I think they are completely not using right now.
They're probably defensive pact with India or something stupid. Oh no,
Yeah.
denounced. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, but to be honest, India has more population than them in just 3 cities, I think. No, they have 5 cities, or 6 even.
Yeah, they actually have more, yeah.
I was thinking about only the 3 that you've seen before the map reveal. I think it would still be more.
Bro, how much am I going to get for conquering Delhi? Thousands.
To be honest, I think it may be not that good because I think it mostly scales with era, not with population. Like
Right.
do you mean the authority one, science and culture.
Yeah. I guess I won't get the faith.
Yeah, I think you will be disappointed, to be honest, because I was disappointed a few times with that. When you will take it in modern, when it will be already 55, yeah, that will be huge.
Fair. Yeah, though this was just with gold increase, so maybe still a little bit easy, but I don't think it's too far off, especially if they keep going.
Honest, especially with what you have saw with Spain cities and with India raging. Well, the Mumbai is of course easy to take, but I don't think Delhi will be easy to take.
No, that's
The
true.
terrain is a bit smaller.
They got Great Wall as well.
Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that. But yeah, the Great Wall became obsolete after gunpowder, I think. So this was a great change to all of this game.
Oh wait, is it
If it
gunpowder?
was still have dynamite, yeah, you can
Jeez.
see it on a Great Wall.
Wow, that's quite early though.
Yeah, quite early, but I think balanced. Because no way Great Wall would stop until dynamite. You would just basically have to spend 80 or 60 turns for conquering Delhi alone.
It's not. I feel like it's not quite long enough though, because this is only like you get kind of an era and a half of actual.
Yeah, but what other yields or effects from other like wonders on the same time you get better and more than 1.5 era? Like Colossus is just directly beneath it. It's much worse than
Well,
just
it's
a
so out of
small.
the way though, because if you're tradition, you want to be up here as well. Like it's so tough to ever get it.
Great lighthouse for sea warmongers is also out of the place, I think. And
True.
well, it
Well,
makes a
see.
lot of sense for it to be on the engineering, but um, yeah, maybe we could move it to something else. But I don't think it's really a tradition wonder, to be honest. At least for the AIs. Most of the time, I see of course, Askia loves to build Great Wall,
Right.
and I think he his thinking is good on this one because he will deny it to any victim.
I tell you who I've always thought would be very good for getting it with is Arabia. I mean, obviously it's annoying because you want these, but
because of the desert, which already hinders movement, or what?
well, so you get a free Great General and you get a Wonder,
Yes.
so I'm pretty sure you'll get a double trigger on the Arabia bonus, and then also you get an additional bonus for every war you win, right? So you can just start declaring wars and just let them come to you and just pick them off. Like if you ever went for an Arabia kind of war style, definitely go for Great Wall.
Well, I will probably not. Well, I would like to because Arabia is another civilization that would make a lot of sense historically because they were kind of conquest civilization for much of the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's like they went from the whole Islam and Arabian people went from like one nomadic tribe in the Arabian Peninsula to conquering all of the shit like Egypt, North Africa, from Spain to Sicily also and southern Italy. Of course, France nearly conquered by the 1800s, the when the Charlemagne stopped them, to all of the Middle East, and I think basically to Persia, to Iran. So it's like a lot of that. Was also the Camel Archer, which is I don't think the Camel Archer is really a historical unit. I think it's more Age of Empires style than Civilization. To be honest, it's kind of weird. And
Right. They
this
might
is
have
the
had
reason
like one or two of them in history.
so they should have like heavy cavalry Mamelukes from Egypt, which would be like a unique knight with because this was the main strength. Not
Right.
in the early conquest of Arabs, but when they were facing crusades and so on.
Yeah.
But camel archer is definitely the reason why I will not play like that. But not only because of the historicity. I don't like the skirmish line. I think the skirmishes are a little too powerful, and they should be unique
Too
only.
powerful.
Yeah, I think they are. If you have spare horses, you can never take damage on your own units, and
Yeah,
you can
true.
finish. And I think it's thoroughly ahistorical. It just completely doesn't make sense. Like there were only a few peoples or a few tribes or a few empires that ever utilized something like camel archer or something like uh, whatever is riding and like getting a projectile weapon. So whatever it will be, rifle or
Okay, I get you.
oh yeah, only like the I think Scythians from ancient times. I don't even
From
think
Rome Total
Arabian.
War.
Yeah, I don't know if they were in Total War.
You haven't played Rome Total War?
Yeah, I've played it, of course.
Alright.
Like when I was, there was a like, it is one of the games that had the VP style modification, uh, which was
Oh yeah, I haven't tried them actually. I mean to.
Barbarum, I think.
Right.
Was like that, and it was absolutely amazing. So amazing that I wasn't able to comprehend all of it and just gave up. The battles could went up to 1 hour. So
Really?
yeah, but really like good shit if you want to read about history because you have on each turn you have like a wall of text what happened in the real life and all of the units, all of the buildings are carefully like historically placed.
Right.
You can't have that in civilization. It is the point of civilization to be a little historical, but
Right.
when you have a game that is limited in its time frame, and Rome Total War kind of is, it
Yeah.
is possible to get a really historical mode.
Wow. Probably give it a try then.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I don't know how about stability because it's quite an old thing. I
True.
think that the new Europa Barbarum doesn't work on Rome. It just converts medieval to ancient times, and all the thing is done on medieval too. It just recreates Rome like on a medieval engine.
Right. I think they did use like similar engine anyway for Medieval 2 and Rome Total War.
Yeah, but like it is no longer a modification to Rome Total
Yeah.
War, but to medieval.
Fair enough.
And but Arabia would be very hard to like if you it would have to focus on quick religion and quick like conquering because I think Camel Archer is very late or if you don't have unique ability that relates to war, you really need a good early unit to
Right.
start conquering.
Right.
Because if you will conquer someone, or especially two people, but even if you conquer one or vassalize one, it all becomes much easier. But before this, and you will not have basically any like bonuses to combat or to units or anything like that. So it would be majorly hard
Yeah.
compared with Persia, compared with Songhai, compared with Sweden or Zulus or Japan.
True. I mean, Mongolia is pretty good as well, man. I have to say, it's like you actually just can't lose units. So
Yes, but like in Mongolia game, you also have a lot of horses and a lot of open space. Like they would completely gave up
True, you
half
got
of the continent for you in the middle between Japan and you. So it's kind of um, you have to like take that into account. Normally, you would have much less space to operate with
yeah,
skirmishes.
that is
But
true.
yeah, it will be kind of fun to see if you will be able to keep with the happiness and development because you have a lot of cities with authority, which I do not like. I do like playing traditional authority, so 5 cities max, and the rest puppets on next.
Yeah,
And you want to settle like 9 or 8 or 10.
I don't know. I might settle another one, dude. I'm just going crazy.
Yeah, the thing is, you will either have to log all of them pretty soon, or I don't know, or you should just collapse under your own weight, kind of thing.
That
Because
could be funny.
authority, it doesn't happen anymore. I think it was happening in the vanilla
Really?
because sometimes you can get not enough happiness when conquering.
Right.
And even for the AIs, they would just fall off and the cities start rebelling, and other guys would jump in
Yeah.
to divide their allowance. But it doesn't happen anymore in VP. Like in this game, if you lose something, it is always a bad thing, which basically mean you don't ever want to lose a city, you don't ever want to lose a unit. It is zero-sum game,
Okay.
which makes it a lot of a historical and it's not a good because some people there were, I think in one thread there were talks about it. One recent thread, I don't remember, but like should VP be more historical and like a simulation for real world
Right.
happiness system also, or should
Yeah.
it be like a zero-sum game, like a multiplayer skirmish, which is heavily right now.
Yeah.
That is either you win either or lose. It is not like there would be no situations that you could win and conquer 5 civs and then fall apart. It
Yeah.
just doesn't happen.
I think, well, because, people aren't particularly happy with the happiness system, which we've discussed, and I see why. So if the happiness system itself was a bit more like made more sense and worked a bit better, then you could consider putting in some bigger penalties for actually being unhappy. But right now it would be a bit harsh for
Yeah.
given that not everyone even understands it properly and you can get a bit fucked by it.
Yeah, I kind of like of right now happiness system, but it needs more like cleanup.
Yeah.
To be honest, you know how I like the shit, and I would love to bring crime happiness back, and
Yeah.
give like more constabularies and police station, this kind, and maybe one another building to battle it. Because yeah, I think I already told you, because it would bring more like, not only would it increase difficulty, but it will also punish progress or tradition factions that are not making military or
Right.
are just expanding recklessly, because not only other AIs would attack them and see them as weak, but also their population would be majorly unhappy from the crime.
Yeah.
And I would like make it more about your military score than military presence in the city.
Right.
So don't even have to take them in a city, and on the other hand, you don't get rid of the whole unhappiness by 5 upgraded units in the cities. But it would be tied to your military score or like pro value of your units divided by your cities. And you would decrease it by constabulary, by maybe something like a prison building in a Renaissance, or I don't know, industrial, because there is a large gap between constabulary and The other one is
Police station.
police station. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it could also do something for spying or something like that. And yeah, and I posted it also on forums. I wanted to bring courthouses back to normal cities. They would be expensive and give something like +1 happiness
Right.
instead of, for example, public works. But I think it is majorly strange that we have courthouses in annexed cities that sometimes, or in like conquered cities that sometimes don't even have a proper legal system, but are just, like governed by the military or something that works out of the civil legal system.
Yeah.
And we don't have houses for normal cities. No, well, like for Persia, you have houses for normal cities.
Yeah.
But was it like uh, a lot of production to spare on top of the things that you normally have to build? Because I don't play Persia often, so I don't.
I think that I just built them mostly because I want golden age points. Like I'm
Yeah,
trying to get a golden age so that I can attack India, although they have Great Wall anyway, so it won't even help that much. But uh, I feel like I'd built. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of built them. Didn't feel like they were massively expensive, but just felt like building another decent building.
yeah, they are the same as the temple, I think, cost or something like this. Yeah, because these are medieval buildings, they are 300, and I think
Oh,
no,
they're
it
a bit
is
more.
more.
I guess they do go up per city then, because that's how courthouses
Well,
work.
even in your own city.
Cost increases based on the number of cities.
Strange. Yeah, and OP pagodas, of course. I am also getting want to get them in my Japan game because AI never really takes them.
Wait, what?
Pagodas, pagodas for the belief, the building, faith building that gives you
Oh,
one
right,
yield,
right, right, right. Yeah, yeah.
just which are a little OP in my view.
True, true.
Well, not like if we balance the game around typical continents, maybe not. But most of the time, you will get pressure from at least. Well, in your situation, they are still not that good, but they will be very soon very good if you can get one Catholic and one Protestant follower.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like even two is enough, though, really, isn't it? Because it's better than all the other buildings. They
Yeah,
give two
just
of one yield.
you don't you lose this like 15 or 10% on something, but it is uh, so delayed. It will only kick in reasonably in like modern, like +15%
Right.
cost in golden ages from mosques, on +10 science from synagogues or something like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they are very good. Yeah, a little too OP. I think it should be scaled. Well, I think it should allow only to some yields. Um, Maybe if we eliminate culture from it, it would be enough. Because
Yeah, maybe.
uh, like +3 science, +3 or +4 science production, faith, food doesn't really feel that good when you don't have a culture. It seems strong, but on the top of your head is like you should go for religion to have some culture.
Yeah,
And
usually.
right now, the culture is the strongest, uh, like the pagoda yield, because it is basically +3 or +4 culture. So it is massively, massively better than inspiration, which is kind of shit right now.
I got plan for the enhancer to, convert all my cities over to orders
Mhm.
and then convert them back. Although actually, it's a bit shit with the founder, isn't it? I didn't really think about that. But I was gonna convert the cities, get the orders and pagodas, and then convert back to another religion or something, and then get
To be
a
honest,
massive enhancer.
I think you will have enough faith to do it. Because pagodas also use a lot of faith. More than any other faith building apart from orders.
They give Oh right, they give faith plus the extra yield.
No, I don't think so. They give. Oh, they do. So you are getting 4 from them, and you will get 6 when 2 other religions have a presence. So yeah, you are correct. Even in your game, the God of like Stars and Sky is not so OP because you have only, I think, Capital is working a lot of. This city has
This
3
one, actually.
tiles with.
I need to
And this
convert
one-
this one back, but
Yeah, it will be quite decent
yeah,
on this one. Like the main strength of it is, of course, in the early game because of the culture.
yeah. There's a couple of things. There's one thing here. Science Monopoly 2. It's a pretty good one.
Science monopoly.
Silver, sorry.
Culture, yeah, plus the culture. Yeah, I guess.
What do you
it
mean?
could. Yeah, like I think with the like plus 2 culture, like any monopolies with authority. Authority is just weak at getting monopolies. It is better than tradition. It is worse
What?
than progress. Yeah, I think it is. It just until you have terracotta army, and if you want to get some wonders like terracotta army, like Angkor Wat, sometimes you don't have a time to even work and improve or like resources, luxury ones. I think progress is much better at it.
Yeah, for getting it early.
Yeah, and by the time you will have this monopoly many times, it will be like turn like there is one type of monopoly that I will go very early, and this is faith monopoly.
Yeah.
And culture, I don't value culture monopoly as much as the faith monopoly because faith monopoly can give you culture from a pantheon and from a founder or follower anyways, so on top of other things.
Yeah.
So I think the faith is the strongest monopoly, and I love incense because incense not only goes well with desert stars that I usually think of as the strongest, and also they are kind of most like nice to the eye, I think.
Right.
Because I was playing a lot of Tundra recently, and just I hate this gray shit and this like bleak forests everywhere.
Right.
But yeah, the yields from incense are not that good, but you have a culture anyway, so you are getting the same amount as silver, I think, because improving silver gives you 1 culture also.
Does it? 2 gold.
2 gold. So I'm mistaken. Gold gives
Well,
you
yeah, I
culture.
do have 3 culture though, so it must. Oh, it's from Tundra.
Yeah, Tundra. Yeah, so in fact you will have this culture much earlier. After your first plantation, it will already be +1 culture.
Yeah.
And sometimes they spawn flute plains. That is really amazing.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. And of course, another thing I love about incense is monopoly it gives you, the Hexen refinery, which I really like. This is a corporation that is on war focused, like land units and strategics.
I think you got to go for the food one, man. I feel like I've just realized it is like way better than the others.
It's better only for unhappiness, I think.
But yeah, but that means you can grow your cities massively without worrying about unhappiness, and then that's actually good late game.
Yeah, but you know my opinion. Food is one of our weakest, maybe even weaker than gold yield, and when with authority and faulty imperialism autocracy, you don't really have super happiness, and you don't really have with all the modifiers from imperialism for unit production, with that Hexon refinery, with other things that like prioritize production, you will not really need another grow, because there are only so many tiles in its city that are worth working on, and you will not be getting anything from specialist either.
Right.
If you are going for domination, or from the other one is Diplo victory, I think.
No, I mean I agree, but food is a really good late game when you have like broadcast towers and public schools and stuff that actually scale with population, and like better tiles because you have agribusinesses and shit like that. And then like if you have a wide empire, honestly the food one is the best. If you're tall, then maybe you take one of the other ones and try and get a load of franchises for the bonus. But
if I am going for a total warmonger, like Zero 3, like all my religion, apart from sometimes even with a Pantheon God of War, authority, fealty, killing city-states instead of allowing them, imperialism, autocracy, I think Hexen Refinery is just the way to finish the whole game. And it can be really, like in my game right now, if the Zulus will go really snowballing, I think I might need it, to be honest, because even if I will have a lot of units, I will have to like sacrifice 2 or 3 waves of units to conquer or stop them. So I really like the Hexen one.
I mean, maybe,
It
man.
is.
I feel like if you're seriously in a battle for the win, you might want to try if you're seriously like it's going to take up to info era, I would honestly try the food one, because it will make you so incredibly powerful with culture and science and some production too.
Would you take this one over the science one, the fire oxide minerals?
If I had more than like 6-7 cities, then yes.
Really?
Yes.
So how does it exactly work? Is it -5 unhappiness from yields needs for every office?
For every office, -5% in all cities, and then, but it's actually there's another -5, so it's actually -10.
But where to get offices from if most of like you only have vassals, which will be 2 or maybe 3 cities max, or sometimes even 1.
Well, no, it's offices, so it's just the ones that you build.
Oh, offices, yeah.
It's really weird. I don't know why it's like that. It's so different from the others, but that's how it works.
Yeah, because otherwise it would only work with nationalization from order.
Right. But yeah, and then honestly, it just like removes unhappiness as a problem. Okay, we had some technical difficulties there, but we do need to stop anyway, to be honest.
Alright, guys, so thank you for tonight, and give feedback for the difficulty, and we'll see you next time probably. So, yeah, bye.
Yeah, thanks for joining me, man. we went on way too long, as always. But that was pretty fun. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.